Good evening. You're welcome to Flip TV News. I am Kolade Folari Kadeshpris. Court orders police to evict Bayero from palace. Federal government suspends Nigeria air indefinitely. Silva rejects Bayelsa tribunal verdict, heads to appeal court. Bandits kill 7, abduct scores in Niger community. Ekiti court sentences 29-year-old to death by hanging. The news in full. A Kano State High Court has ordered the Commissioner of Police to immediately evict the 15th Emir of Kano, Bayero, and take over the palace of the Emir of Kano. The court also stopped Bayero and 4 others from parading themselves as Emir. The 4 others include Nasiru Bayero Bichi, Dr. Ibrahim Abubakar II Karaye, Kabiru Muhammad Inuwa Rano, and Aliu Ibrahim Gaya. The court order followed an expert motion filed by the counsel to the applicant, Ibrahim Issa Wangida, before the court presided by Justice Amina Adamu Aliyu. The federal government has said that the Nigerian air remains suspended during the ministerial press briefing in Abuja marking President Bola Tinubu's first year in office. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, provided updates confirming that the projects remain suspended. In 2023, the Ministry of Aviation under Hadi Sirika, former minister, unveiled Nigeria Air 3 days before the end of former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. The development had elicited concerns among stakeholders nationwide over the ownership arrangement, which gave Ethiopian Airlines a 49% equity stake. The federal government had a 5% equity, while a consortium of 3 Nigerian investors had 46%. Reacting to the deal in June 2023, the House of Representatives asked the federal government to suspend the operations of Nigerian Air, describing it as a fraud. In August 2023, Keyamo announced that the National Carrier Project was suspended till further notice. Keyamo reiterated that the ownership structure of the suspended airline is not beneficial to the country. Nigeria Air must be indigenous. It must be only Nigeria, or it must be for the full benefit of Nigeria. Not that 60% of the profits is for another country. How does that benefit us so it remains suspended? Keyamo said. The governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Bayelsa State and former Minister of State for Petroleum, Emir+Ekiti, has rejected the Bayelsa Governorship Election Tribunal judgment, which upheld the election of Diri as the state governor. Dissatisfied with the tribunal's judgment, Silva held a closed-door meeting with elders and stakeholders of the party to discuss the next course of action. Following the meeting, he directed his legal team to seek justice at the Court of Appeal. "We are not satisfied with the decision of the tribunal, but this is just a court of first instance, and after meeting with elders and critical stakeholders of our great party, APC, we directed our legal team to seek justice for Bayelsa at the Supreme Court," Emir+Ekiti said. The governorship candidate assured the people of Bayelsa that the Court of Appeal will surely correct the travesty perpetrated by the tribunal. He said deliberation of Bayelsa was close and that justice was inevitable for the traumatized people of the state, appealing to them to remain positive, law-abiding and steadfast. Silva had, in the course of the sitting of the tribunal, accused the tribunal of bias following several infractions observed by his lawyers during the hearing of the case. Though he subsequently filed an interlocutory appeal demanding the dissolution of the panel and reconstitution of a new one. His petition was thrown out by the president of the Court of Appeal. Earlier, the tribunal upheld the election that produced Diri as the state governor. A 3-man panel led by Justice Adekunle Adeleye dismissed the petition filed by the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Emir+Ekiti, and the party for lacking merit. In a unanimous decision, the tribunal held that the petitioners failed to prove any credible evidence to back up any of the allegations they raised against the re-election victory of Diri. It held that the prayers of the petitioners were contradictory. Bandits have killed 4 security task force members and 3 villagers in a midnight attack in which no fewer than 200 locals were also abducted in Niger State. Members of the Kuchi community in the Moyan local government area of Niger State, where the bandits invaded, described the attack as the worst of its kind in the last 5 years. The incident occurred on Friday night, during which bandits were said to have defied a heavy downpour, causing pandemonium as residents fled their homes into nearby communities and bushes. One of the residents, who spoke on the condition of anonymity, said among those killed were 4 members of the Joint Security Task Force stationed in the area. 3 villagers who attempted to escape into the bush were also killed as they tried to run into the bush. The residents said although they could not count the abducted victims, more than 200 villagers were taken away by the bandits. The bandits, numbering about 300, operated under the heavy downpour for over 3 hours without any resistance. They went from house to house selecting those they wanted to take away, including women and children. They looted all the shops in the community and carted away goods and drinks. They overpowered the security agents, who were also looking for a way to escape. The bandits came in about 100 motorcycles, each carrying at least 3 people, who were all heavily armed. An Ekiti State High Court, Ado-Ekiti Division, has sentenced 29-year-old Adedayo Olawale to death by hanging for the murder of Nwachukwu Joseph. The court on Monday also sentenced him to 7 years imprisonment for conspiracy in the murder of the deceased person. He was arraigned on the 29th March 2023 on 2 count charges bordering on conspiracy and murder. The charge read that Adedayo Olawale and others now at large at Ekporo in Emirs+Ekiti did conspire to murder Nwachukwu Joseph. The offenses are contrary to sections 244 and 243 of the Criminal Law of Ekiti State, Nigeria 2021. One of the eyewitnesses, a cousin to the deceased, in a statement before the court, said that he saw the defendant and some other boys hit the deceased with planks, and later one of the defendant's gang stabbed him in the left side of his chest. He fell and died before some people could get there for the rescue. The prosecutor, Ebirunke Odetola, called 6 witnesses and tendered the defendant's statements, pictures of the deceased, and other supporting documents as exhibits. In the judgment, Jubril Aladejano said assaulting the deceased with planks before being stabbed in the left part of his chest showed that the assailant intended to cause him grievous bodily harm or his death. The judge, who said that the prosecution had proved beyond reasonable doubt that the defendant and others at large conspired to commit the felony of murder at Ekporo-Ekiti on December 10, 2021, said consequently the sole issue for the determination is resolved in favor of the prosecution. That will be all for Flip TV News this evening. Join us for more stories. My name is Kolade Folari Kadesh Prince. Enjoy the rest of the evening.